Have you ever played classic Skyblock? Well, imagine if every single biome in the game was inside one of these chests. Some of these chests look bigger than normal, and some of them are even closed. Like, why is that closed? And why is there in the nether? Let's find out. So inside of this chest I had 2 pieces of ice, 1 lava bucket, 1 wooden pickaxe, some bread and a chicken. So I guess the first thing to do is to start Skyblock like you normally would. Collecting resources so we can put it around the tree to then get a sapling so we can continue playing Skyblock. So that's exactly what I did. I removed the top layer of dirt so I could have enough dirt to place around my tree, so when I harvest my tree, hopefully a sapling will fall. Because there is nothing worse, and we all know that if you're playing Skyblock and you don't get a sapling, your Skyblock is pretty much over in terms of wood. Okay, moment of truth. I mined my tree. The one thing that I need is a sapling, so I can replant my tree to guarantee that I get wood. Let's see if I can get it done. Whilst I was waiting for my glorious sapling, I decided to have a look at some of these chests. So that one looks interesting because there's a spawner over there. I wonder what's going to be that's inside that spawner. If it's going to be a mob, it's not going to be easy to go to that chest. And that looks like the end portal over there. So I guess that's probably going to be the last chest that we go to. I'm down to my last couple of leaves, so I thought I better make a cobblestone generator just in case I don't get this sapling. At least I'll be able to get cobblestone, and I'll be able to mine across to all of the chests using cobblestone. So I built the classic generator. But I wanted to make sure that it worked before I placed down my water, so I didn't have to cause obsidian, the classic rookie Skyblock error that a lot of people make. The moment of truth. Have I done this properly? To cause obsidian? Oh. I actually don't know if I have done it right. Let's just try it again and hope for the best. Oh, thank God. I didn't make obsidian. Oh, that's a relief. As I turned around, I noticed there was no sapling. Not one. The Skyblock. It's over. It's over. I spent the remainder of the night mining stone, enough so I could build my way over to our first chest so we could see what was inside. Hopefully, something good. I'm not so sad anymore that we didn't get a sapling, because inside of this chest, 2 beautiful trees. I found a beautiful sight, a chest. And in that chest we had some iron, some ender pearls, some sticks, some blaze rods, some experience, an axolotl in a bucket, some crazy stuff. So it looks like that these chests are going to be filled with a chest and things relating to that specific biome, which may or may not help us out. As the second night hit, I decided to use some of the resources to expand the base. I wasn't really concerned about dirt anymore, seeing that I could get them from the other chests. So I decided to expand and make myself a little platform, and of course, plant one of our trees. I literally sat there for the next 30 minutes, mining as much cobblestone as I could. So that way we could bridge out to the next chest, and then the next chest, and then the next chest, of course, and then just keep going through that process. I made myself an iron pickaxe so we can continue mining stone more efficiently. Hopefully we find some more iron in a chest, otherwise, yikes. I turned all of my cobblestone into slabs so we can build out a lot easier. It was time to bridge out to our second chest. Exciting. Can't wait to see what's inside. The fun part is kind of not knowing what's inside. That's the exciting part. So we broke into the side of this chest. Couldn't hear anything, so I was pretty lucky, and then I wasn't reluctant to dig in, so I went straight inside. Acacia wood. Okay, so we've found the acacia. And another chest. Oh, diamonds! Oh, that's a good chest. Being on top of this chest was a good vantage point, so we could have a look at some of the other chests. Looks like there's an ocean down there. A geode. Is there anything on the other side? Oh, yeah. There's the end. So that's definitely the end portal. I wonder if we go up... Actually, it might be better off if we went up on the roof, because then we would be able to get an actual real good look at what's around. I can see the end clearer now. Couldn't really see much else. There was a locked chest in the background. Like I said, ocean. I could see a mushroom. But that's really about it. I decided to spend the rest of the night breaking up one of these wooden chests to get as many resources as we could, so it would be a lot easier for future when we were going to be expanding to all the other chests. A new day in the world meant exploring and building to another chest. So we decided to go to the big red crimson forest biome, which was right next to where the chest was that we just destroyed. I got to this point here, and I could see that we were right above that locked chest. I really had to know what was inside one of these locked chests. The closed chests. Was there going to be something good in there? Or was it just aesthetics? Was it just a closed chest? We're about to find out. The moment of truth. What's inside this? Looks like some andesite. Oh, diamond. Diamonds. Mob spawner. Oh no, let's just get out of there for now. Should we go and break that? I think we should break that. I'm not sure if I should break that or save it as an XP farm, because I feel like we could use it. I decided to keep it and put a torch on it to stop any mobs from spawning. And now we can get a true visual representation of what was in this cave. So there's a bunch of diamonds, some gold, some iron, and a spawner, which is going to come real handy for later on in life when we need the diamonds. For now, I'm going to take the iron so I can make some more tools, and leave the diamonds in case we get fortune. It's now time to head out and check out the red crimson nether biome. Touch wood, and dare I say it, I haven't seen a single mob yet. So I'm sort of hoping that it stays that way for now, until we can get out there. We finally get our first look at a nether biome. I don't see any mobs, which hopefully works in our favour. in the long run, and it will allow us to mine all of these trees for future use. I haven't seen any hidden chests or anything. I do know there is one chest down on the ground. I'm sort of just making sure that there's not a spawner, as we do know there is that one chest that has a spawner in it. So I make my way down to the chest to see what's inside. I'm assuming it's going to be nether related items inside. Oh. So more diamonds and a sword and a few more blaze rods. So we're looking pretty good on... And we got an Eye of Ender as well, which is great. So we're looking pretty good for in terms of the end portal. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of Eyes of Ender or equipment to make Eyes of Ender in multiple different chests. So I feel like we are actually going to have to explore all of them to determine what's inside. I made my first bed and slept through the night. But that night, everything changed. Mobs have started spawning. That chest over there has mobs on it. Does that mean it was on easy mode until now? The mobs are in the nether. There are mobs everywhere. The game has just changed. I now have to deal with constant creepers blowing up everything. I have to watch my back. And just straight up mobs everywhere. This is going to make exploring a lot harder, especially seeing as some of these biomes are probably going to have a lot of mobs in them. My god, look how many mobs are in that nether. It's time to now bridge to our next set of chests. So the next biome was a swamp / mangrove. But the thing is, I couldn't see a chest anywhere in this. So I don't know if they're hidden chests. I don't know if some of these big chests have a small chest. I don't know. So as far as I can see, there isn't a chest in this one, but I guess we do have a few resources that we can gather in the meantime. The journey must continue on to the next chest. The next chest, the Sea Temple. Now, I haven't been given mining fatigue yet, so I'm going to make the assumption that there's no Elder Guardian in this chest. But I don't know if there's any other chests inside of this. We may have to explore the actual temple. With that being said, it was time to build and bridge to our next chest. So as we get to the top of this chest here, we don't see much. We see a skeleton, and that's about it. So it appears that not all of these chests have smaller chests in it. Where did the skeleton go? Wasn't there a skeleton? So I can't see a chest. I do have some wood, which will be good for collecting, so we'll get that. But yeah, so I don't know. If I just dig down, do I see what's in the middle of this? Because it's weird that a lot of these chests don't seem to have smaller chests, so maybe not all of these are going to have loot, which is going to make it interesting because I feel like we now have to visit every single one to find enough resources. I decided to check the temple to see if there was a chest, and to my knowledge, there was. Ooh, okay, diamonds and emeralds and the heart of the sea. Not a bad chest. The chest exploration must continue, so we decided to crack on to 2 more chests. The next chest that we got to was a mushroom biome. So we just started digging under the dirt and discovered the mushroom biome. Which means the mobs aren't going to spawn but also didn't appear to be any chests. We'd been foiled again. No, we have not! A chest! Oh! And more diamonds, gold, iron, blaze rods. Couldn't be happier right now. So the next biome saw us in a large spruce biome, which is really good because spruce trees can get quite big, which gives us a lot of wood for expanding. So we also had some berries, which was good because we can now have more of a food source than what we already have. We finished our resource gathering, and alas, on to the next chest. The next biome appeared to be the Pale Garden biome, which was introduced into the Minecraft world in 1.21.4. If you didn't know. There's a couple of skeletons we had to deal with, but that's fine. We took them out pretty quick, and they didn't seem to do too much damage to us in the process. There was no chests in the Pale Garden, so we continued on our journey. We decided to go for one of these really tall ones, which is going to be quite awkward to build to. We're going to have to build like a massive staircase to get up there. The one thing I noticed as I started getting higher is there is a lot more chests in the background that we can't see from our spawn. This is going to make it more fun. I made it to the top of this really tall chest and we had a look over the edge. It was a dark oak forest with a chest, some sugarcane, some more dirt, and a pig. We got a pig. Oh, beautiful chest. It seems we get a lot of the same thing: iron, gold, diamonds, arrows, blaze rods. So I guess that's kind of the theme for most of these chests that we do find. We started our next platform, our next bridge to the chests. I discovered a bunch more chests, but also something quite interesting. A structure. Our first structure of the chest's environment. We can see the top of what appears to be a nether desert temple. But I think we're going to go to these other ones first and then come back for this desert temple and go around the other way. Our second nether biome. I could also see that there was a spawner down there. Wasn't really sure how I was going to attack it. I didn't really know what was going to spawn out of it. I went down and I knew I had to destroy that spawner straight away. Otherwise it wasn't going to be pretty. We ran all the way back around to this plain chest that we had back here because it was closer to the next chest than from that nether biome. So we decided to go from this part. The next biome was another desert biome. Didn't appear to be any chests, so we may have just have a biome by itself, which is fine, but it seems to be a waste of resources going out to these things. We made it to the next chest. I didn't realize that the audio wasn't playing through the headset. I could hear a billion mobs in this chest. And I decided, yeah, I wasn't going to attack this chest today. As we went up on the roof, we realised that there's a spawner in there. Lots of ores, lots of mobs. It probably really wasn't going to be a fun time. so we decided to leave. Our next chest seemed less threatening than the previous mob-filled chest. We didn't see much here, but we haven't had a look around yet. Just as we suspected, there was no chest, so we moved on. The journey must continue. This chest didn't look that exciting, and I don't even think there's a chest here, so it may be a quick trip and we'll move on to hit the desert temple. We destroyed another chest to gain more wood, so we can keep going. We now are going to attack the desert temple. The desert temple, we could already see there was a bunch of mobs on the outside, and I only sort of wondered what was going to be on the inside. So we made our way down to investigate. Killed a skeleton and looted the chest. More diamonds, gold, blaze rods, as expected. It was time for us to explore the desert temple, so we peeped inside to see what we could see. We could see a spawner and 2 giant holes on either side. So I want to go down and look further to see what is actually done in there. Okay, so we broke the spawner. Quick haste. It would appear that something blew up the side of the temple, which we know desert temples have TNT. Makes me wonder, wait a minute. Netherite leggings. Oh, that is awesome. We looted the temple and we could see something. Something really familiar. A villager house. I wonder, is this going to be our first indication of villagers? We got to build out to that. As we were building out to that temple, I did something silly. I let go of the shift button for the first time this whole entire video. And fell into the void. We're lucky that after the desert temple we put all of our goodies back in the chest before we died. Otherwise we would have just lost nether pants. Back to where we were. Nothing totally happened. I didn't fall off the void. No, it wasn't me. We made it to the village and we had to have a look around. I didn't hear or see a villager, so maybe there isn't one in this village. Not sure. So we went down to the village house to see what we could find. Our suspicions were right. There was nothing here. It was a false village with false hope. Which means, on to the next. This chest appeared to be a lot smaller than some of the other chests that we had visited, but it also seemed to have nothing there either. Except some animals. Shortly we entered into the next biome. Again, nothing special. There's some birch trees. There is a chest. And I'm assuming it's going to be diamonds, gold, iron, blaze rods, ender pearls. Oh, an enchanting table. That's going to be handy for endgame. Building forever, we found what seemed like another good chest. And immediately saw a spawner and some skeletons. I knew I was going to have to be sneaky and not get knocked off the edge and lose all my stuff. I set up a little bit of a carrot farm so we can make some carrots. I have a lot of gold and it would be good to make some golden carrots for the end. So I decided to start working on a carrot farm, and luckily in that last chest we found, there was a bunch of bone blocks to give us bone meal. We ventured out to that chest that had a spawner that we could see. We ran over to the spawner and we broke it straight away, that way nothing could spawn. We had a quick look around, didn't really see much, so we decided to leave to the next chest. It was definitely getting tiring running around from spawn all the way down to all of these chests when we go back to spawn. It was getting quite repetitive. We had built up to the next chest, the cherry blossom biome. Initially, don't see anything, don't see any chests, or I don't see any mobs. So we might just have to skip this one to find a chest with more useful resources. The next chest had more bone blocks and a couple of pieces of ore. Wasn't really much to this chest, so we decided to just collect the iron, the bone, and then head home. After making it morning, we went to the next chest. Didn't appear to be too much around, but we thought we would still have a look around because this chest appears a lot bigger than the other chest that we've been exploring. So I thought there was definitely going to be, and there was, a chest on the ground floor. We harvested the chest, then collected all the goodies and moved on to the next chest. The next one was a mesa biome, but again, didn't have a chest. So it was a quick one and we moved on to the next one. Digging into this large chest, we found another village building. A blacksmith of all things. Interesting. So I wonder if there's going to be a loot chest in here, and there is. What's inside? A couple of iron, 2 villagers, which is handy, and some sticks. As we built to this chest, we could just hear a mass amount of mobs. So we knew that it was going to be another one of those caves, so we decided to build around it, and collecting all of the iron ores along the way that we find.